Hello, mic check. All right, let's try this again. Sorry if you tried to join me earlier. I was having technical difficulties, but I think I figured it out. It's pretty amazing what, like, just you press one little button can just screw everything up with all these wires and monitors and everything here. Um, So here we are in the studio. We're upstairs tonight. I didn't want to get my lights out and everything. We're in my little office. It's a beautiful day here in Boise, Idaho, and spring is upon us. May is here. There's still snow in the mountains. We've been having snowstorms, and there's our foothills are actually still just covered in snow. And so it was cool to find Craters of the Moon where there's no snow, where you can just drive up to it and you can go. And I took my winter backpacking tent, which got a hole in it. But I took my winter backpacking tent because I thought it would be windy, which it was, and that tent is so much sturdier. But I didn't need the like winter setup or anything for this trip. I was definitely warm. So we're not quite there with all the trails being opened up yet, but we're getting there. And Craters of the Moon was really cool. I've never really appreciated Craters of the Moon because it's kind of a tourist trap. Is the nice way of putting it. A lot of people, when I've gone there before, I mean, I'm guilty of this. You go and you do that small little loop there, that small little loop drive, and you do a couple of the little, I wouldn't even call them hikes, walks on the lava to get a feel for it, and that's basically it. So it was really cool to find the wilderness and to find this hike, and everyone can do this hike, and it's really fun. It's really unique. The fact that you can stay in a volcano, that just the walking on lava, the different terrain is really cool. So let me show you what I mean about just this vast wilderness here. Okay, this is the part we were having technical difficulties with earlier, and as you can see, I figured it out. But all right, here's Craters of the Moon. So here, right here, is like the visitor center and the campgrounds. There's a lot of like, just camping in actual campsites, RV hookups, things you have to reserve. Like here's a little hike right here that you can park and do, but it's really, really like this is some touristy stuff. Um, this is probably the biggest one you can do over here. A lot of people drive to like the spatter cones and check them out and stuff like that. But as you pull out here, so this is the whole loop that you can do. The whole thing is right here. It stops right here at the trailhead. And if I pull out here, you can just get a sense of like how big this preserve is right here compared to that little area right there. And that's the part that we explored, and we only explored just a very small part of it, but I found it to be much more enjoyable and much more rewarding and a really cool way to experience Craters of the Moon that I loved. So let's just take a look at what Craters of the Moon is like, in terms of like a tourist thing. This is a video that I did with Chad. We can hear it, but we don't want to hear it, right? And this is what I did for Visit Idaho. This is kind of the tourist thing you will get. You can see there's the road there. There's a bunch of walking. You can get, oh, by the way, drone flight was north of the highway. So I dealt with this with Visit Idaho. You can't fly a drone in the preserve. You can just fly, but if you're outside of it, right outside of it, you can still get some cool shots. This is the edge of it, as you can see. That is where you would enter it with the drone. So we were behind the drone. I think what I'm talking about with that guy is nuclear power. Arco was right down the street. It's the closest town. It was the first city in the United States to be fully powered nuclear. So if you want to go check that out, you can. I didn't really find it to be that fascinating. But this is kind of the feel you get around here, really developed. I don't think this is part of the dark sky reserve, but it definitely could be. The Sawtooth National Forest, and wilderness is, but Craters of the Moon might be in there. I'm not sure. Really good stargazing though. This is part of the loop. This is what you'll see from the car when you're doing the loop and when you're driving out here. We were so young, Chad. You know what another thing is? They actually, back in the 60s, they trained, like Alan Shepard and stuff, part of the Apollo missions, they trained on this landscape, which is pretty awesome. So, I mean, that's pretty much Craters of the Moon. You could walk around, you could do the caves. This is like the big one that everyone does that I'm sitting in right here. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of people. It's not really going to be, you're not going to feel lost. It's not going to be super adventurous. And if you want to do that, you can, and you should do that. Like probably for like if you've never been there, do that for a second, or go see it. But then go hiking. And so the hiking trail starts down here at like tree mold parking lot. You can go see some tree molds here. There's a toilet and stuff right there. I think I parked right there. Tree molds are weird. I didn't, like, I was thinking of big fossilized trees. It's not. It's like they're these rocks of lava where like trees used to be and then they've rotted out. So it's just like these big tree trunk looking holes in lava rock. I have a shot of it at the end of my video. It's really not that cool to me. So if you want to go here and see those lava tree molds, I guess you can, but whatever. You're going to walk along this pathway here. You're going to go down here. There's going to be signs at this portion of the hike. You're going to come around here. You might see some people here doing this kind of loop around this butte. You're going to get here. You're going to hang a right. It's going to say Wilderness Trail or something right here. That's going to be the last sign you see. And then you're going to hike out around this butte to about here. And that's going to open up the rest of the wilderness to you. And there's a pretty distinct trail. Even Google Earth has it here that you can walk along. One thing to keep in mind is, like, if you veer from the trail, you got to make sure you don't get turned around. Like I said, compasses don't work out here. Your GPS will, but that's one of the tricky things. Sometimes the landscape can look really similar, so you can find yourself going south when you think you're going north, and that can get you into trouble, especially there being lack of water. But usually, for this, you'll see I think these are the Lemhi Mountains over here. They're to your north. They're pretty hard to miss. And you're going for Echo Crater. Now, when I showed up, I didn't actually have Echo Crater on my mind. I didn't know where I was going to go. The first thing you do when you go backpacking here is you check in at the visitor center. They will give you your backpacking pass, your hiking pass. They'll give you this little cute map that's almost like, you've unlocked this treasure. There's so much more to this place than what we show people. Only 1% see the wilderness, and you're one of those lucky people. So it's like you got this golden Willy Wonka ticket that they give you. And then the lady told me go to Echo Crater, and so good advice from her. It cost me $20 to get into the park. I have a state park pass. It doesn't work because this is a federal thing. So if you have like a national park pass, a lot of RVers have that. It's free to get into the park. And then you will, of course, drive down here. And then you're heading for Echo Crater. Let's pull up the video. I'm so glad this is working now. Like I said, drone flight, like this one is right by the highway. It's not in the monument. You can see this is the road here that's stretching through there, the loop road. This is kind of what I mean by the landscape. This is me in the actual crater. I didn't get into the hike here. This is not Echo Crater. This is a different volcano. That's some movie magic for you guys, all right? But yeah, like I said, I brought that tent because I knew I was going to be facing some wind, and I was, in a little bit of a storm. And that tent, because it's got the middle pole section, it holds up much better, and I'm glad I brought that. I still think I probably would have been okay with the two-person tent, but I was much more comfortable in that tent because it just holds up so much better. And the crater really obviously helps you. It protects you in the shade and stuff. This place gets super hot in the summer. I mean, you're talking about a volcanic landscape and just heat bouncing off that rock. So now was a really good time to go. I had lows of like 40 right now, highs in the 70s. The wind absolutely sucks, but you know. And don't forget, you got to bring all your water now. We're going to see the watering hole here, and I'm going to show you on the map where that is, but you cannot be dependent on that. Like, I was locked in the freeze. There's times when you'll go and it'll just be dried up. So definitely prepare to carry all your water. They say a gallon a day. Like, holy cow. But yeah, if you want to make it an overnight trip to Echo, that's always that's just a really good, easy trip that you can do. The whole family can do it. It is tough on gear. Like I said, I ripped my tent. I ripped my down booties just walking around this campsite, which was even more annoying. Um, those holes in my chair were from just those I didn't put out there. It's really cool. My chair fits in this tent, which when it rained, that was nice. I had my like chair to sit up in and stuff like that, and just like kind of wait out the rain. At least it was a warm rain. That's the Lemhi Mountains. That's a butte that just sits off to the east or west. I don't know. I guess it'd be the east. So you could see how windy it was. Some extra guy lines on the tent. And yeah, just learning from past mistakes, finding trees, finding places to protect your tent when it's going to be windy, so that things block the wind and take some of that stress off it is really important. Really cool rocks that you see around here. And yeah, I can fit my chair. How crazy. My down booties that ripped. I lost water. Okay, we're going to keep going here. So like I said, dark skies, beautiful, beautiful dark skies, even though I had clouds. Yeah, it gets wild. Here's the crater from the top. You can hike up there. There's an actual kind of path, walkway. So a really cool place to see the sunrise, sunset. You can kind of see me over here. If you missed me, your first watch through, go back. There I am, right there. So the sun comes up over here. Hike up here. Here's the tent if you can't see it. It's right here. It's this little orange thing in the shadow. And you can actually come out here. This is how you get into the crater. You come from this side, which is the east side, and this being the north, right up here along these mountains. So I came in from this way. Here's the trail. You can almost kind of see it back here. Kind of brings you in, and then I went off trail, came around here. You can see a little trail opens back up. There is camping over here, and there's camping down here. So big crater, lots of room. Even if there's someone out there, you'll be fine. And then I found these things. I have no idea what these things are, but this makes me think that there's not that many predators out there, because these things let me get right up on them. I could almost pet them. Look at them. They're right there. They were not scared of me. I chilled with them for about like an hour. Yeah, I don't have that big of a lens. I'm not too far away from them, so it kind of made me think there is probably lack of predators out there. I don't think you have to worry about bears. It's probably lack of water. Like, big predators need water, so I'm guessing, you don't see that many. You definitely don't see bears out here. Like, there's no bear signs. I guess, like, theoretically one could come down from the Sawtooth, but, like, is he really going to cross the highway and enter Craters of the Moon? Like, I highly doubt it. Same goes for, like, I guess the only predator you might get is a mountain lion or something, is what I was thinking. So, all right, this is the water hole. Let me pull up Google again. It goes so much smoother when my equipment's working. Holy cow. Okay, so, whew. Okay, so you've made it to Echo Crater right here. here's the water hole I was at. This is Bear's Den water hole. It looks like there's a couple of little water holes here that I didn't check out. Yellow jacket right here. Little prairie right here. They are really hard to find. Let me tell you, I needed my GPS for these. And I read that Bear's Den is the most reliable one. That's the one I went to. You could obviously see that, like, it definitely gets water sometime. But I mean, the window on it is probably short. It's probably next month. But, you know, if you're at Echo Crater, you can go check it out. And then if you're hard up on water, you can get some. You can always, like, if you run out of water like I did, it's not hard to make it back. I wouldn't worry about it too much. It is cool to go check out, as you see in the video. It's just fun. You can kind of walk around in there. It was like, I was shivering. It's much colder down there. So on a warm day, you can definitely, like, get some reprieve from the heat. It's just cool to see this kind of landscape, you know. Icicles in the desert is, like, not something you would normally see. Super icy. Watch your footing. But this was just the front of the cave. That cave kind of stretches out back there. You can see me kind of hiking around back there. Yeah, right. Like back here, there's probably even more water. I don't know if you could actually go swimming, but there was a place to sit. I bet people go and, like, put their feet in. I don't know how ethical that is, or I don't know if ethical is the right word, but, like, what about the animals that need it? Might be bad, but I don't know. They didn't say, there were no signs that said, like, don't go here. Actually, they have a Karen. Like, this is the marker for the water hole. So, and it's on your map that they give you. So it's not like they don't want you to go out and see it, or there's any signs or anything out there. So from the water hole, it's like 2 more miles to these basically the end of the wilderness trail that I'm on. And then it's just kind of like all open, the vast, like, 750,000 acres kind of lay before you. And I think most people would stop at the Watchman and the Sentinel, which I get to. This would be the Sentinel that you come up on. And again, super windy. You could see all the trails on there. This is hiking on top of it. You get a cool look back at the mountains and stuff like that. This is kind of looking out to the south. So these guys are, let's see, right, there's Echo. There's the end of the trail. So are they not? Yeah, they would be right here. So this would be the Watchman right here, this butte right here. They don't even have a name on it here on Google Earth, but you can see what it looks like. You can see it in the video. There's a little depression here, a little crater. I think they call it the Watchman because it looks like 2 dudes over here. And then the Sentinel, because it's this kind of lone looking thing out of the abyss, is right over here. And then I camped right here. Right here next to these 2, as we talk about with that tree. But really, you can camp anywhere around here. You can kind of see it. All this lava is kind of nasty. And the trail stops right here, right in between these 2. And way back here is the trailhead. So that's your journey. It's kind of out to here and all the way back. And you can kind of climb around and explore and stuff. So let's watch the rest of the video. Call it a night. Let's see if anything else pops to mind. I still want to climb that little monolith over there. This looks like a great place for a fire. God damn that you can't have one. So yeah, if you watch the video, I go to get snow. I was able to just dump the snow into my platypus here, my dirt my dirty platypus bag, and it was so warm now, like 70 degrees. This stuff just melted on its own. I didn't have to boil it, and then I just, put the filter on and filtered it. I still had some water left over, so I still had time. That was for like coffee in the morning, so yeah, if you're ever in a pinch. It really helps when it's like 80 degrees out and you need to melt snow. When you need to melt snow in like -5 or something like that, it becomes much harder, much less fuel efficient. Because I remember like on the honeycomb loop, man, I was struggling with my water filter. Struggling. And yeah, even like something like that doesn't have any leaves or something, this really helps with like bracing against the wind. The one problem with these like 4-season tents is like it's not a problem, but they are built more for the keeping your heat in. It would be nice to be able to take the rain fly off and like see the stars out there. God, my hole. Wait, phrasing. But I wasn't happy about it. That's looking north. And yeah, I was just setting up my tent. I had just this was not even I didn't any this is not movie production. I did that whole thing about things being sharp, and then I like walked on this a second later, and I was like, you have to be kidding me. This is what's known as a leverite. You leave it right there, which I did. But no, it was cool. Piece of obsidian, something ancient, something we all know, like with Native American heritage. And this is what's always fun about Craters of the Moon. It's not really like, it's just like the hiking around, the exploring caves, exploring the landscape, seeing rocks. You see a lot of birds, things like that out there. I think that's the fun of it. Like, you're not going to a mountain lake, you're just kind of exploring this really crazy landscape. And so just have fun, enjoy that. It's probably like one night out there and you'll be good. I got lucky with the second night getting this thunderstorm, which was terrifying but also beautiful at the same time. And you know what? It does suck you can't have a fire. That is the one thing. But yeah, thunderstorm rolled through. And that is the moon. All right. And these are the tree molds I'm going to show you, and then we're going to get out of here. Tell me if you think they're super exciting. Are those super exciting? Those are tree molds. So you can see like the tree has grown, like it's not in there anymore, which is, God, John, be better. This is like Sarah with the remote. Yeah, it's just like there's a hole that a tree used to be in. Like, I guess that's cool. That's kind of cool. I don't know how cool. Like, I think sleeping in a volcano is much cooler, but, that's cool. All right. Any questions? I'm sure no one's even on because it's like I canceled this live stream and then had to re-upload it. Oh, people are on. Hey. You poked enough holes in the tent to get some airflow thanks to the obsidian. Yeah. You know what else is? It's like that brush is sharp. Everything is sharp. Like I was wearing some pretty tough pants, but like rain pants will get holes in them. Like I said, my down booties. That brush is just like everything has needles. Everything is just sharp. It's really strange. Thanks, Isaac, for sticking around. Someone's stuck around. Gosh, you know what it was? Is I didn't have mirror display selected on my Mac. I don't know when I took that off, but I didn't. That's pretty much what happens. You just do something stupid like that, and that just ruins the whole live stream. Just ruins it. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Everyone go do Craters of the Moon. At least it wasn't an adult trip. It was not. It was not an adult trip. And I got a bunch more coming up. Thank God snow is melting. Um, I'm gone every weekend this month. Every single weekend this month. And the first 3 weekends of next month. So we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.